with HTDC. That background today is crazy. It's making me dizzy. Anyway, this is the show that we talk about tech, innovation, entrepreneurship, and manufacturing, and all the things that are amazing that are going on in Hawaii, because a lot of that stuff does go on in Hawaii. And one of our newest companies here today, my guest, is Jacob Issac-Lowry from FlyWire. And this could possibly be the next game changer, I think.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. That's awfully kind.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So what is FlyWire?
So what our company is and what we've developed is kind of modular, miniature HD video systems. There's a lot of different uses for them. We've got customers that are doing a ton of really cool stuff with it that we're excited about. But one of the big pushes and one of the big areas that we're getting into is wearable video systems. So and kind of one of the things that we can do that's a little bit different because of some of the technology we've developed is that with our cameras, because we've been able to miniaturize the camera module so much smaller. So this is, without getting too techy about it, it's a 5 megapixel video sensor, 145-degree wide-angle lens.
Wow.
So basically about the same video quality as a GoPro, which is what most people are used to, but in something that's about the size of a quarter. And the neat thing about that is that in a lot of our different applications, you can actually position, like on this pair of eyewear that we've developed, you can actually position the camera right in between the wearer's eyes. And so what ends up happening on, for those types of applications is that you're basically videotaping someone's memory because you get their exact line of sight perspective, you see everything that they see, and so for a lot of professional applications, for coaching, training, things like that, the value of the video is a lot higher than with other types of video systems because now you can actually see what someone's seeing as opposed to just kind of filming what's going on kind of in the world around them, which is pretty exciting. So medical, law enforcement, things like that.
Yeah,
so,
I know. That's been in the news a lot with the police.
Yeah, that one has
wearable
specifically.
Cameras. Yeah. So you developed the eyeglasses specifically for your
kind of the neat thing is we do a bunch of different mounts. So, I mean, this is a teeny one that we've made that can go like on your own eyeglasses. We've got these that we made just so people can use something right off the shelf. It's got a little tilt mount right in it, so you can always frame the shot just the way you want it. And then the neat thing is, everything's totally modular, so it's all plug and play. You can just snap the camera right onto it, run the wire, and then you're all you're all set to go. And so the cool part is some of the other video systems that are out there, they work with kind of your personal devices, they're paired to your phone, things like that. So it's really difficult to kind of change the product between people, which is not so bad if I'm just buying it for me as a consumer. But for some of the customers we work with, if you've got a staff of 50 people, one of the things they like about FlyWire is I can wear it, I can film myself, I can take it off, I can give it to you. We can build a digital training manual now to replace paper stuff. So it's really kind of a neat new tool that lets people kind of, the idea of a picture being worth 1,000 words, a video is literally 30 pictures per second, so it makes it now something that's new and accessible for people to take advantage of video in more common ways, which is kind of exciting. Our customers really respond to it well.
Those are really small.
Yeah, well, yeah.
How did the company start? Like, how did you get the idea?
So it's actually kind of interesting. My background, I was fortunate enough, I did my undergrad work at the University of Michigan in mechanical engineering and was out of school for about 10 years actually, working in a couple different jobs. Before I decided I wanted to come back to grad school, there were some things I wanted to brush up on, some things I wanted to learn. And kind of in that interim, I always just did engineering work on the side because I like projects, working on things, and people kind of knew that I did that, and I'd have opportunities to work on different things. And one of them was related to video system stuff, and I kind of got into it and was looking at it. And my wife actually deserves a lot of credit. She's a scientist, behavioralist, and does a lot of video coding, video work, and kind of saw what I was looking at, and she'd heard of GoPros and knew, and this was maybe 3-4 years ago, kind of when I first was tinkering with it. And said there's really something here, she should work on it, and that's kind of where it came. It evolved from. I think one of the neat things about it is I was actually in UH at graduate school and had an opportunity to take a class that's offered through the law school on high growth entrepreneurship. It was something I was interested in, kind of always wanted to do that, but again was missing some of the skills about how you do it.
So this was still a side project?
Yeah, yeah, still just a side project.
Wow, okay.
And then in that class, you kind of learned the high growth VC model, the financial side of it, how you fundraise, how you do this, how you put all the kind of the business bones together. And so I'd go to class during the day and you work on your class project, and then I'd come home at night and basically do the same thing in real life.
Wow.
And so it was actually kind of a good coincidence.
Great.
Yeah. And so right after graduating, was able to spin out of that and work right onto this full time, which was pretty exciting.
Yeah, and you're already selling product?
Yeah, so we raised kind of our first seed money in the spring of 2013 to really get seriously started on it. Then we started with another fundraising round earlier this year that we're just getting ready to close. And actually from kind of the idea to fully manufactured product was about a year. So we entered the market this May, and we've been selling product, since the beginning of the summer. So it's been cool. You know, we tried to build the business around this idea of iterating in the marketplace and working directly with our customers to do that. So we kind of created something that's simple enough, flexible enough that people can see, touch, work with. And then we can follow up with them to really dial it in to kind of suit their needs exactly, which has been pretty exciting and people respond to pretty well.
So are you still tweaking? Like this is still...
Always. Always, and so there's big changes that go into kind of major product revisions, but that's what you'll see. I mean, a lot of these things, these are all 3D printed materials. So one of the things I wanted to do with the camera system too was, not just design a camera, but kind of design a universe of products that could take advantage of a lot of new emerging manufacturing technologies like 3D printing, so that you can iterate, you can change it, you can adapt it in real time, affordably for people. And so that's where, a lot of this stuff, safety cases, different types of mounts, you can stick this right on the dashboard of your car or window, whatever you want, comes from working directly with our customers, and then because of 3D printing, it's designed for that. Within a day or two or a week, we can actually develop something that we can sell to people to actually use in the field. And then every time we make it, we can change the design, we can dial it in, we can make it a little bit better. So it's kind of a little bit of a unique take on actually doing your real product development in real time.
In real time, exactly.
Which has been fun so far.
Selling at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is cool, and I think
it's a good cash flow model at least, right?
I think our customers appreciate a lot of them being a part of it. We're not so much just selling product as we are, collaborating with our own customers to say, how is this valuable to you? What are you looking to do? And then we can support you in developing the tools you need to be better at the things you do at work or to enjoy the things you do at home more.
Wow, that's very cool. So it's very hands-on with the customer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very custom. Who are your customers?
We've got them all over the place. So anything from just general consumers. We have people that'll use them just to go coach their kids in Little League or, film their children at home. We actually have one person that just bought one, has a newborn baby. They're excited because the camera,
they're just like,
it doesn't weigh anything. It's so small. They're actually going to put it on their baby, their toddler, to film them taking their first steps. So from that all the way up to law enforcement and surgery, hospitals, medical.
Wow. So you guys already are in. You have big customers already.
Yeah, and then one of the other things that's kind of cool too is because the system is totally modular. I mean, this is the one that goes on glasses. This is the DVR. But we can take it and put it in all sorts of different housing. So that one, we actually were just up on the North Shore with a customer group doing some work with canines. So you can mount that right to the dog's head to see exactly what the dog sees. This one you can put right inside of any type of football helmet to see exactly what your player sees. And then we've got ones that you can just clip on, your shirt, on a pair of goggles, and everything's plug and play. It's all interchangeable. So that lets us touch a lot of different spaces with just off-the-shelf stuff. People can mix and match, shop, and I think one of the cool things is we can deliver a lot more value to people because, for instance, if you're a school administrator, it's a tool where you can take it and by purchasing a couple extra parts, it's a system the football coach can use. You can swap to another camera. Now your teacher can use it in the classroom. Because of the design for working with 3D printing, one of the things we're really excited about is now it becomes a tool for schools in their own STEM classes. So now we give people the ability where students can develop their own new mounts, their own new hardware, their own new setups to even help the sports teams at the same school. So really kind of, that's why we really feel that we're not just making a product, we're actually making kind of the first open source HD video platform. That lets people work with it however they want, interact with it however they want, which is pretty exciting. We've got, one of our bigger customers that we're real excited about is using basically the guts of our video system and actually adding video to other products they manufacture because it's accessible. We designed it so that people can use it, that machines can talk to it. So with something simple, plug and
Wow.
play, now you can have, you know, the computer in your car could control the camera to put a black box in your car for crash prevention. You know, it really opens up kind of a whole realm of possibilities, which we're really excited
So
about.
give me an example. How would that work?
Okay, so for instance, you could take a FlyWire.
So this is what records the data?
Yep, this is your DVR. So
Okay.
it just uses a micro SD card, just like any other stick. 16 gigs is the normal one we normally sell. It'll hold about 4 hours of video, which is
Wow.
plenty for most
Yeah.
people. This one just runs on AAA batteries, but we've also got some cables you can buy and run them off of a standard, you know, phone charger backup. So you can DC power adapters, whatever you want. In the car, I'd recommend this. You can plug it right into your car, so you never have any issues with batteries. You can take the camera, you can put it right up on your dash, and then pretty much plug and play. You could run a cable from the diagnostics port on your car. Again, without getting too technical about it sometimes, but you know, the little thing underneath the dash of your car that they can plug in, like Progressive Insurance does now with the things you can plug in so they can monitor how you drive. And you could use that information to have the car talk to the camera and say, basically, every time I slam on my brakes, turn the camera on and film for 10 seconds. And so now you're talking about new tools. Yeah, and it gives you a lot of opportunities, I think, for us as the company as it grows, working with the state, working with governments for safety, for protection. There's a lot of cool things. And then it's, again, you can take it out of your car, you can throw it on your hip, you can wear it into work, or you could take it to your kid's music recital. You know, so kind of one device that you can really use in a lot of different ways, which is pretty exciting.
What was your initial market? Like, what did you initially focus on?
One of the things we wanted to do when we started was not really try and limit ourselves. So, I mean, that was kind of why we developed 3 or 4 different camera modules from the start. Because I think when you look at, you know, startups and the track record with it, you know, it's really easy to kind of miss your market. And as your business grows, you're always pivoting, you're always learning, you're always moving in new spaces. And so we tried to really be aware of not pigeonholing ourselves with design. You know, the risk is when you try and do too much, you know, then you lose focus and you can just run yourself into the ground.
Exactly.
So, you know, we were looking at sports applications for football. We knew there would be some consumer side applications, but that market obviously is very, very competitive. So we didn't want to try and only go there to establish ourselves. But also in the professional spaces, because the price point, you know, the basic camera system for the DVR, the camera microphone is only about $220.
Wow.
It runs just off regular AAA batteries, so they're really
amazing.
inexpensive, which makes them really attractive in a lot of the professional spaces. So for people in manufacturing, for quality control, for medicine, hospitals, things like that, is really where we see, you know, bringing a lot of value that people can't get in other places. And so that's kind of where we focused a lot of our efforts too.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, thanks. It's exciting, you know.
That is, we're going to take a quick break.
Sure.
My guest today is Jacob Issac-Lowry of FlyWire. This is High Growth with HTDC, and I'm your host, Cindy Matsuki, and we'll be right back.
Okay, I'm Jay Fidel. That's Ray Starling. We co-host a show called Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, every Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. It's really interesting. You know, Ray has a way of unzipping these guys. He asks them these questions, and all this stuff tumbles out, and we find out stuff we would never know about without Ray's questions. Thank you, Ray.
You're welcome, Jay. I'm very pleased to be your Ed McMahon every Wednesday at 4 o'clock here on the internet. So you can join us and see what's happening in the energy world, and there is a lot going on. So join us every Wednesday at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, come around. Be energized right here on ThinkTech. Aloha.
Hi, welcome back. This is High Growth with HTDC, and I'm your host, Cindy Matsuki. And I know it's the holiday time, but there's still some stuff going on, so I wanted to let you know about some events. The date, December 29th. Save that for HTDC's 15th annual Holiday Tech Fair at the Japanese Cultural Center. It's part job fair, part tech expo. Help us show returning Kama'aina that innovation and tech is alive and well in Hawaii. You can get your resume evaluated by HR professionals as well as your digital headshot taken for your online profile. Tech companies will be showcasing their products and looking to hire. This event is also a Wetware Wednesday, so after you're done checking out the tech companies, stay for networking and poo-poos as well. Hope to see you there. For businesses and entrepreneurs who need some quick legal advice, every other Wednesday, HTDC offers free legal guidance in partnership with the Business Law Corps. You can sign up for a 30-minute appointment at the Manoa Innovation Center. Please visit htdc.org/legal to sign up for your free 30-minute appointment. I want to let our entrepreneur community know that we have office space available at the Manoa Innovation Center. We offer a collaborative community, co-work spaces, office services, and great programs for starting businesses. For more information, please visit our site at htdc.org. Announcing the HTDC partnership with ProtoHub. ProtoHub is Kaka'ako's newest co-work space, and we've entered an agreement with them to share resources and facilities. With our shared mission of supporting the startup and entrepreneur ecosystem, this partnership allows members to take advantage of the facilities and programs offered by both organizations. So we're looking forward to a fruitful relationship with the ProtoHub. Lastly, calling all SBIR Phase 1 winners. HTDC offers the state's matching funds for up to 50% of your Phase 1 award. So if you recently won a Phase 1 SBIR, please contact us at sbir@htdc.org. And that's it. And back to our wonderful guest today, Jacob Issac-Lowry of FlyWire. We actually have a little video.
Yeah,
that
sure.
maybe we can, it kind of shows off the capability of
that'd be
the
great.
camera. So maybe we can show that and you can let us know
I'd be happy to.
what's going on.
It's like being on the Late Show. Yeah, this is actually just one of our early promo videos we put together. So I mean, this is that football helmet camera. So you can see, the difference.
Inside?
It's inside the helmet
Okay.
and basically capturing everything the player sees. One of the neat things about it, we can't hear here because the audio is muted, but because everything about the camera is modular, including the microphone, we can actually mic people individually, like with the microphones we're wearing. So basically with the FlyWire, you can get the video you want, you can get the audio you want, you can put the controls where you want, and it's really kind of
and it's so small.
a transformative way to actually interact with the wearable video system, I think, which is pretty exciting. Here's just a quick clip of how the system goes together. You can wear it. This was just shot right here at a
That's cool.
at a skate park.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
But yeah, and we found kind of one of the neat things is because in most cases we're mounted kind of directly to the head. You can see in some of this video, the image is actually pretty stable, all things considered, because people naturally keep their heads pretty stable. It's part of the reason kind of we don't fall down when we walk. So we kind of get to piggyback off of that and cheat a little bit and use some biological image stabilization.
Versus we're on
and software, trying to do it in software or with really complicated mechanical systems.
to stabilize.
Yeah, so we kind of try and be smart about what we design. This was fire department training right inside the respirator mask, so it doesn't have to be fire rated. Again, new video perspectives, new tools. This again just kind of shows the difference in the perspective with some other video systems that are out there. And then you can see ours, so you can see what the person's seeing. So for instance, in medical applications, you can see the work site instead of just across. This video we actually shot because the cameras are so small. We have one camera looking out and one camera looking in. And so you can film kind of exactly what's going on in a lot of different ways.
That's interesting, yeah.
And again, giving video producers new tools. That's mounted right down on a pool cue, to get shots that you've never been able to see before. And because it doesn't weigh anything, you're able to do that.
Yeah. That is amazing.
So one of the things, I think coming up here at the end is kind of a neat sequence. So when you've got multiple people wearing multiple cameras, you can just kind of stitch the entire scene together.
Cool. And you get the whole story.
Yeah, and see, which is kind of neat.
That is cool. So did you actually develop this camera yourself?
Yeah, we designed it from scratch. We've got a bunch of great manufacturing partners we've been working with from the beginning that help us with some of the design resources, and then we do a lot of the other stuff in-house on our own. So it's kind of and it's got, our patent portfolio kind of covers everything that we do.
Yeah, so you've got some IP on this.
Yeah, and just the ability, the way we're able to miniaturize the camera, the way people are able to interact with it, how you can communicate with it, a lot of those different things are all totally scratched, developed by us. And, again, it goes back to kind of this concept of customer-first thinking, always working directly with our customers to make sure we're not just developing a product, but we're actually developing a solution for people, which, for me as kind of the product designer is the thing that I enjoy the most,
So But you can order like a basic system, but then
Oh,
for
yeah.
specialty applications, you'll work with the customer to do a custom system?
So we've actually got our website right now. We're getting ready to roll out here before Christmas our new website, because right now when you go, right now when you go, you know, we've gotten the feedback, and rightfully so. It feels a lot like going to Radio Shack, you know, and you're just kind of shopping by parts. Which, you know, for me, I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's how I'm used to shopping, you know. But you know, for a lot of other people, I think because there's so many choices, it's a little bit overwhelming. And so one of the things we're doing with the new website is actually rolling out kind of application-specific packages. So if you say, I want to use it for this, I can go and here's everything you need for it right out of the box.
That's perfect.
But even, you know, our average customer, we always want to hear from them, always let us know. And I think the cool thing is, you know, we do a lot of work working with researchers, with scientists, and kind of by being out there on the forefront with people that are looking to use things in new ways, it gives us a lot of opportunities to design solutions that then we can cross over and carry over and offer to other people. So it's kind of a crowdfunding R&D, you know, development model, which is also kind of cool. That's been working well with us, working well for us so far.
That's great. I think I just a small question. Are these the lens covers? These little?
Yeah, they're just little lens caps.
Oh, okay.
And actually 3D printed as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say they look like they're 3D
pop
printed.
right off.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I have a question. I'm sure you get this question a lot.
Sure.
So I noticed you had a little piece about the difference between the GoPro and your camera. So how do you differentiate your camera from GoPro?
Sure. Well, I mean, first to start off, I mean, there's GoPro at their size. There's a lot of things that those cameras do incredibly well. I mean, the technology that they've developed and they put into those is really pretty phenomenal for what they do. I think, though, the main difference is when you look at GoPro, when you look at the Sony and some of the other systems now that have kind of followed GoPro's wake, is there still, if you close your eyes, there's still what you would imagine a camera to be. That same form factor that you hold like this, or you wear on your helmet, or you do something different. And I think really what we're doing different is with a FlyWire, you don't hold it like a camera. You actually wear it. It interacts with you, with your body, how you move, with the equipment you already wear, your own reading glasses. If you wear a helmet or headgear, it goes right on that.
So is that where the FlyWire comes from?
Yeah, kind of. Actually,
like fly on the wall kind of thing?
Yeah.
Where it's like you don't even know.
Yeah, in a lot of cases,
there.
I mean, with these mounts, you can actually literally do that. So I could take it off me and stick it right up on the wall, and we could make our own tape of this interview. Yeah, pull it off, wear it out, throw it in my car, and shoot a video driving home. But I think that's the big thing, is the perspective. Again, being able to actually see what people see exactly. And since you brought up, and everyone is now because it's relevant, the law enforcement side of it, I think one of the things that we're able to do for people that is very, very valuable is that, when you're talking about visual perception, the ability to see exactly what someone else saw.
Exactly.
Because now when you're going back and you're analyzing this video and you're asking this person, well, why did you do that? Why did you make that decision? If I have a video that's just shot from over my shoulder, I can't really tell you from looking at that video that I saw someone out of the corner of my eye. But with FlyWire, because we can see exactly what they see, the person can go back and say, I saw that right there.
Yeah.
That's why
Or especially if they just turn their head.
Yeah, and just notice it or catch it. And what's cool about it too is, there's value on that side, but then on the flip side for coaches, now it's a new tool to interact with their players, to go, I mean, what are you seeing here that's causing you to make these decisions? Instead of just getting frustrated and yelling at the kid, saying, your elbow should be up. Well, I don't know what that means, coach. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. I'll take a quick video. I'll send it to your parents so they can work with you. You know what I mean? So I think that's the big difference, is making a video system that provides more useful video information for people, and then also creating a system that's easier to interact with and use a little bit quicker. Yeah, so I mean, we set it up. I joke with my dad. I probably shouldn't because he might be watching, but I tried to make this dad-proof for him. And so really, it's just got one button on it.
Wow.
So you can plug it up, and I think I've got one system here with batteries. We can pull it out later, but you can plug it up. You press one button to turn it on. You press a button. You record everything you see hands-free, and you press a button to turn it off. To really make it simple for people, because I think when you look at the trajectory and the growth in the market, really where people see that new space is in everyday applications. But there's kind of a fear of technology, and I think, to be honest, this is just my opinion, kind of for what it's worth. I think a lot of that is justified, because I think in some instances, with this culture of tech, there's a real focus kind of inside the bubble on features and functions and bells and whistles and all of this stuff that maybe it's really cool to put on your blister pack or to talk about or to say that you can do, but because you're not actually connected directly with your customers, it doesn't translate to actual value for people. So what we really tried to do with
like
this
they just
system,
want one piece of it.
yeah, they just want something they can put on, they can record their day, and they can go home. That's all. That's what people are looking for, and that's what we really try and give them.
That's cool. And I'm glad you decided to stay in Hawaii. What made you stay here?
Well, I think for one, the community here and the support for entrepreneurship, for local growth. I think a lot of the recent state initiatives through the university to really try and start developing, new legs of the economy out here beyond the traditional ones, I think is really exciting. It's an opportunity to be a part of something that's growing, that's got a lot of support, that people are invested and interested in, which makes it fun. And then beyond that, I think for business reasons, you have access to a lot of talent, especially with the proximity to the West Coast. There's a lot of cross flow. You got access to capital markets, and then there's a really a bed of experienced veteran entrepreneurs, investors in the community here that have come from all over the place. So in terms of kind of the collection of resources that you're able to tap into, in my experience, the places I've lived, it's pretty unique, which is exciting.
That's good. Have you found any other benefits or hindrances as far as starting your business here?
I think maybe 20 or 30 years ago, the distance, the time zone, would be a pretty substantial challenge. And, I'd be lying if I say that it's not unpleasant sometimes to have a conference call at 2:30 in the morning. But, for the most part, as long as you recognize it and, you manage the distance and you manage being kind of in a separate community from a lot of what goes on in the mainland, it really hasn't been much of a hindrance for us. And I know we were talking a little bit during the break, kind of one of the cool things it's let us do is, as we grow the company, really kind of take advantage of the resources and the opportunities to develop local business, but then also establish mainland operations to take advantage of some of the opportunities that you have from being on the mainland, for distribution, real estate, warehousing. I think I was talking to a couple of other advisors about this maybe a month or so ago, and about what happens to companies that start here and they grow and they leave. And they were saying, part of the reason is when companies start with a business model that isn't tenable in Hawaii long term, then you end up in that pressure where you have to make a decision. So kind of what we're trying to do is a little bit different mold, take advantage of what we can do now with technology today, and build our operation from the ground up to capitalize regionally on the ways that we can. And so far it's been working well for us.
What works for the mainland and what works in Hawaii.
Exactly, yeah.
That's smart.
So,
that's great.
Yeah, we'll see.
Very good. We're going to take another quick break.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll be right back. This is High Growth with HTDC. I'm your host, Cindy Matsuki. And my guest today is Jacob Issac-Lowry, founder of FlyWire. And we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm your host on ThinkTech Asia, Bill Sharp. I look forward to you joining us each Monday between 4 and 5 o'clock when we film right here in our studio in downtown Honolulu. The show, ThinkTech Asia, focuses on contemporary events in Asia. And by Asia, we mean anything from Hawaii, south to Australia and New Zealand, west to Pakistan, and as far north as the Russian Far East. Clearly, this is one of the most economically dynamic centers of the world, and we bring you up to date on what's going on in a whole host of countries in this very vital region. We look forward to seeing you. Aloha.
Hi, welcome back. This is High Growth with HTDC. I'm your host, Cindy Matsuki, and my guest today is Jacob Issac-Lowry of FlyWire. Very awesome. And FlyWire is one of the few companies, I heard out of many, who tried for Accelerate UH. Congratulations.
Oh, well, thank
How's
you.
that going?
It's been great. It's been a great experience for us.
You're kind of the guinea pig cohort, right?
A little bit, yeah, which is fun. I think there's two ways you can look at it. One way is it's a little intimidating, but I think the other way is that it's a great opportunity for us to participate in shaping what that program is going to be for future cohorts, which is awesome.
That's true.
And that's something that for me personally is a real privilege to be a part of. I think we talked a little bit before. The investment and the interest locally in entrepreneurship, and from what we've been able to gather working with the principals over at the Accelerate UH incubator, that was really the driving force behind it. Was there's a lot of work, there's a lot of talent at UH. What can we do to be more proactive about transitioning out of just research and into things that actually enhance and grow the economy? And for us, yeah, it's been great. I mean, the access to advisors, to feedback, to guidance, to input, to just local resources, to contacts, really has made a huge difference for us.
Oh, good.
You know, and then I
That's
think
great.
the cool thing, one of the things they do that's a little bit different from other accelerators is that they actually go one step further and take it seriously. You know, if not to say that that came out wrong, I apologize, but take it seriously in that they make an investment in your company. So beyond
I
just
see,
saying
I
we'd
see,
like
I
to bring
see.
you on and help develop
Yes.
you, they want to stay
Personally
invested in
have
our
an
future,
interest.
our future and our success over the long term, which is pretty cool. And I think it makes the dynamic much more mutual because now we both have a vested interest
Yeah.
both ways going forward
Oh,
versus
interesting.
just kind of like a classroom type session where you can take it or leave it. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an interesting change on the model from talking to some other people. That is a relatively new thing, a relatively unique thing, and I think that it's actually going to work out well for them. So yeah.
That's great. How long have you been in the accelerator? Like how many?
So
how much
we
more
started.
Is there left in
We
the
started
cohort?
at the beginning of September.
Okay.
And they have 2 tracks. So they have phase 1 teams, which are a little bit more towards the concept early stage, and then they have a phase 2 track for teams that are already a little bit further along the pipe.
Which
so
is what you are.
yeah.
Right?
So we're a phase 2 team, and so for us, the program will continue all the way through the end of January. And for the phase 1 teams, it ended actually this last week. For them.
Wow.
So, you know, 4 months, 5 months. And then, like I said, I think the cool thing is that they maintain an open door. I mean, they want to be involved in all of these companies going forward. So
That's great.
it's not a situation where you go through it and then
You're
kind of
kicked
kicked
out.
out of the nest, to make
Yeah.
room for the next wave. They actually want you to stay, want to be a part of helping you to continue to grow the business, which is fantastic.
Okay, so what is the end goal for you at the for the accelerator?
For the accelerator? Well, I think for all of us, it would be to grow, you know, a successful company that has a nice, lucrative exit for everyone that's involved. To be able to do some things here locally to not only promote the community, to not only promote entrepreneurship, but to actually provide a job space and things like that. But then I think one of the other cool opportunities that's available through the accelerator and through the university is this ability to pay it forward, which is something I enjoy, you know, being a part of and to talk about and to be able to go out and say, you know, we've been able to do this and here's kind of the path that we've had help along, and if you're serious about it and you're interested in it, you know, here's how you can get in and here's how you can give yourself a shot at doing it as well. So I think I was talking to a reporter, without naming her specifically, who's working on a publication coming up in Hawaii Business Magazine on entrepreneurship for millennials, which I just sneak into the front end of it. So I'll give myself a compliment I probably don't deserve. But you know, I think one of the interesting things about it is, you know, after the downturn, you know, the last couple years, and you know, seeing that really the kind of traditional economy over the last 20 or 30 years is maybe not going to be viable going forward. I think that through entrepreneurship for kind of the next generation of Americans coming up, there's a lot of really great opportunities to kind of remake what the economy of this country is going to be going forward. And so I think anything that we can do to be a part of encouraging people, to helping people learn about what it takes to do it, is great. You know, we're privileged to be a part of it.
Just from hearing your story, it seemed like things went really fast, and you went to market really fast. Was it hard? Like, did you not sleep, or
Yeah.
so, like, how did you
That's
do it?
my COO Josh. He's actually probably watching. That's the joke. Yeah, is that I don't sleep. You know, fortunately, my mom doesn't really either, so I get night owl syndrome from her. But yeah, it is hard. It's not easy. I think there can be a tendency, you know, especially when you read about, you know, companies that started and 3 years later they got a $400 trillion valuation.
Exactly.
Everyone's
Those are
driving
the
a
ones that are
Ferrari
in the
because
news,
those are the only
right?
ones you read about. That's kind of how it goes, and that's what it is. And kind of the truth is, you know, for people that have been involved with it, people that know, you know, is that it is really hard. I mean, you got to have something that you're passionate about. It's got to be something that the people around you in your life that you're close to can share with you in, because it is consuming. And I mean, it really takes that much dedication to be able to really get it to work and to get it off the ground. So, yeah.
That's what I hear. I give startup entrepreneurs so much credit. Amazing. What's next? What's next for FlyWire?
So for us, like I said, we've got in the immediacy our next generation website that we're excited to roll out. We've also always doing product development, so we're testing a lot of new markets. We're starting to get media coverage, pickup, working with some people internationally now, which is really exciting. Spreading into some new areas. We're doing some higher profile work that we're excited to be a part of in athletics at the collegiate level, but even getting into some of those other professional sectors in social science, things like that. is exciting, and then always doing new R&D. So again, being plugged into what our customers are doing. We're already working on our 2nd-gen system that we're expecting to roll out next summer, which I personally am really, really excited about, because I think we're doing some unique things with that are really going to open a lot of doors for people in terms of what they're going to be able to do with kind of real-time sharing, situational awareness, which again, kind of just like NASA with Velcro, you know, has great applications professionally, but also translates to a suite of just really incredible tools, you know, for your average consumer. So, for instance, being able to take video with the FlyWire system, pair it through other mobile devices so that you can share that type of video, and again, striving to be a type of product that really crosses over into all aspects of your life. So, you know, you could have it at work to film what you're doing. You could come home, you know, say I was running late from work, and my wife was, you know, at a party or a function or something before me. She could actually put on her FlyWire, hands-free, interact how she normally would, send that video to me so I can watch it at the same time. She could send it to her parents back on the mainland so they could watch what was going on. So really kind of opening new doors for how people can communicate, which we're pretty excited about.
That is interesting. And what is the end goal? Like, do you want to stay the company? Do you want to see the company grow? And
yeah, I think for us, I mean, we really built the model around an entry and an exit through acquisition. You know, so for 4 or 5 years, stay it growing, and when it's time to move on, it's time to move on. Because for me, you know, this product is it's really neat. It's really cool. There's a lot of interesting and fun things that you can do with it. But I enjoy the process. I enjoy the model, and like I said, what I'm really passionate about is creating things that help people be more effective at what they do, or enjoy the things they do better. And so this is one manifestation of that. But there's 1,000 other things to move on next. Yeah. So I mean, we've been fortunate. We've been blessed through this journey to not only have the success we've had, and hopefully the success that we're looking forward to continue to have, but also to build a team. You know, I mean, here locally, kind of globally, so that, you know, when you move on to your next venture, you know, it's not as hard as it was again the first time. You know, and you've got people in place,
you have a network
done. Absolutely. You know, and you can create something that you can replicate.
Wow. How big is your team now?
We've got 6 people, full and part-time, that are kind of our core team, and then we've got kind of beyond that maybe a dozen other people kind of in the universe constellation of talent that we're kind of starting to pull into orbit between the business, around the business.
That's great.
Yeah, we're building a nice pad that we're hoping we'll be able to launch off of pretty substantially here over the next couple months.
Are you guys looking to hire anybody?
Yeah, not in the immediate term. We got a couple other things we got to get kind of set up and squared away first, but we are looking to start adding to the payroll here over the next couple months.
That's a big thing, just to have employees is like huge for a business, right?
Well, I mean, it's a serious commitment, you know, I mean, to the employee, to the business. You know, I mean, it's something, for me anyway, kind of personally in my role as the CEO, that I take very seriously. You know, I mean, if you're going to tell someone you should put your faith in what we're going to be doing here, you know, you should be comfortable and confident that you're going to stand behind that, you know, if it comes to it. So, yeah.
Wow, but that's great that you can support at least 6 people with what you're doing right now.
Yeah, so far.
That's great. And so where can we find more information?
You can check out our website, flywirecameras.com. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. I know we've been live tweeting the show, so you can check us out just about anywhere, yeah. And then always, like I said, we love to hear from our customers. We love to hear from people that are interested. So for anybody, if you think there's, you know, value there's use for you, let us know. And we'd be excited to work with you in developing something that accomplishes that for you.
And when is your new site going to launch?
We've got a deadline we're shooting for before Christmas. So here in...
It's before Christmas.
Yeah.
It's right before Christmas.
So here in the next 10, 12 days, yeah. So
Christmas is in 9 days, you know.
Is it really?
It is.
Well, then 9 days. that goes back to the never sleeping.
All right, today is the 16th.
Sometimes I forget what day it is. Yeah, I can't believe it's already that close.
But we need to order it before Christmas.
Well, there we go. So then you can check out the site and you can order it now. Yeah. But
so they can contact you and say, if I want to do this, what do I get?
Yeah,
before
absolutely.
the new site comes out.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Very good.
Yeah, they are available.
Okay, good. FlyWireCameras.com. FlyWireCameras.com. That is exciting. I am very excited to see how your company does.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we're looking
moving
forward to it.
Yeah. And maybe we can work with you as well.
No, that'd be fantastic.
Great. Thank you so much for coming.
Absolutely.
And
I appreciate it. Yeah.
My guest today has been Jacob Issac-Lowry. Very awesome. Check out FlyWireCameras.com. World's smallest HD cameras. It looks amazing. It's so small. And thank you for watching us here today on High Growth with HTDC. I'm your host, Cindy Matsuki. We are on ThinkTech Hawaii, and we'll see you next time.